So part of the statutory residence test that people often miss out on is some little tweaks that can happen around day counts. So we're always banging onto our clients about needing to make sure they keep their day counts accurate, know what they're doing. But one of the things that often people don't appreciate is the concept of deemed days. Laura, tell us about how that works.
So from the statutory residence test perspective, you normally would get a day in the UK if you're physically present in the UK as at midnight at the end of a particular day. So say, for example, you arrive in the UK on a Tuesday and leave on a Wednesday, you would generally have one day in the UK, which would be the Tuesday midnight. But there's obviously the Wednesday when you are physically in the UK, but not physically present at midnight. And that's considered to be a deemed day when you're in the UK, but it doesn't necessarily count as a day under normal circumstances.
But then there are specific rules where it applies.
Yes. So if you have been a UK tax resident in one of the previous 3 tax years and you have at least 3 ties to the UK when you're considering this sufficient ties test, then this kind of deeming rule will come into play. It means that above your first 30 deemed days, any deemed days would then end up counting as a day.
So you can essentially play the game of getting 2 for the price of 1 until you've got 30 2 for the price of 1s.
Yeah.
And then they start kicking in. And after which, if you did what you said, which was came in on a Tuesday, did Tuesday midnight in the UK, left on the Wednesday. Once you've had 30 of the sort of Wednesdays for free, you'd then have to start counting them.
Yes.
And that's one that really trips people up, isn't it? Because they just don't know about it.
Yeah. Yes. And I think as well, I mean, I suppose I can understand why they've introduced that under those sort of circumstances, because usually when you're looking at 3 ties to the UK in those sorts of scenarios, you are probably looking at a 90-day tie usually because you've just left the UK, at least an accommodation tie, and then possibly either a work tie or a family tie, because there's usually a reason why you're kind of coming into the UK and coming and going so frequently. So what they're trying to do is, I say, catch you out, but like if you have enough ties to the UK, they want to keep you within that UK tax net.
And if you were UK tax non-resident under the 3rd automatic overseas test, so full-time work overseas, is there a circumstance where that could apply for your 90 days within the context of that test?
No.
So that's important, right? So for people who are outside the UK on full-time work overseas, they can do the game of, if you came in under the 3rd automatic overseas test, if you came into the UK on a Monday morning and left on a Tuesday night, you could do 2 full days in the UK, but it would only count as 1 day for the purposes of the 3rd automatic overseas days, because the deeming doesn't apply. That's only if you're into the sufficient ties test.
Yes, agreed.
Deemed days, it's important. Make sure you know what you're doing. And if you're concerned, then get in touch with us at LSR Partners.